Hey everyone, today I'm going to be giving you a breakdown on the difference between a double boot water ski and a water ski that's got a boot with a rear toe strap. Hey everybody, this is Mitch from BoardCo. Today, going to be breaking down some information on water skis, and this is one of the most common questions that is asked even from fairly advanced water skiers or guys that really know what they're doing. And that is, what is the difference between skiing on a double boot, in other words, two boots that lock you in, just like this guy right here that you see, or versus a boot with a rear toe strap, kind of like this right here. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about it and why you would want one versus the other, the advantages, the disadvantages, and things like that. So first thing in talking about, let's talk about why you'd potentially want one or the other. The first one is on a double boot, why you would want a double boot. The first reason why a lot of guys like a double boot feel is the rear boot keeps your heel and your whole foot locked into position here in the rear. This can be an advantage for some people. It can also be something that a lot of people really hate if they're used to a rear toe strap. But it makes it so that your back foot is locked in. If you like controlling the ski or using a lot of, or using your back foot to make a lot of a movement or adjustment or control on the ski, a double boot might be an optimal pick for you. One other thing that guys sometimes like is the additional support that they get out of a double boot. For me personally, I ski on a double boot ski, and the reason why is because I grew up primarily wakeboarding before I really got into skiing, and so the feeling of having both of my feet in boots locked in was really familiar to me, where having a rear toe strap where my foot is dangling out the back was not nearly as familiar. So a double boot is a great way to go if that's the kind of style and feel you want. If you want extra support, if you just want to feel more locked into place, the double boot is typically a good way to go. The other one is a boot and a rear toe. There's a couple different rear toe designs, but I'm gonna just talk briefly about the whole toe in general. Then I'll get into the specifics as far as a toe, as well as talking about some of the specifics as far as a double boot. So the reason why you'd want a toe is it keeps your heel piece completely free flowing. There's some advantages to this. It makes it so that you have more mobility and you have more adjustment or change, that you can put your foot in different positions on the back depending on where you're at. If you're coming through a turn, if you're edging through the wakes, you put your foot in different places as you are going about doing that. Some people really like that free floating, free feeling design of having a rear toe. The other thing that's kind of nice about a rear toe is you can slide your foot in and out really easily. It makes it so that you have the ability to get up with one foot in, which is something I've never understood, but some people really like doing it and think it's easier to get up that way. But it makes it so you can get up and slide your foot in once you're up. You can also get up on a double ski. So if you can't get up on a single slalom ski like this one, you can get up on a dual ski and move your foot over and slide it into the rear toe, where you can't really put on a double boot once you're up skiing on the water. So that's the reason why you potentially want to go to a rear toe. Just a lot more free feeling when it's on the water. Now, there's some hybrid designs and some different changes that I don't have one right here in front of me, but like Radar as an example uses a heel rear toe, meaning that it's a rear toe shape, but instead of just being like this, there's also like a cup that goes around. There's a few other different designs like that, like Reflex does a design like that and such, which kind of gives you the hybrid feel of being able to slide in and out, but also has the ability to grip your heel at the back cup. Some guys really like that design. You also may need it for additional ankle mobility or something like that if you're too locked in with a double boot. So let's talk about the most important thing, though. Probably the most important question that people ask is, should I go to a double boot? Or should I go to a boot and a toe if they've been skiing on a double boot? The answer is if you look at the top tier professional water skiers, there's guys that ski at the absolute highest level of water skiing with a boot and a toe, and there's guys who ski at the absolute highest level of water skiing in a double boot. Some of the best skiers in the world ski on each different design, which really tells me one thing, and that is there is no right answer to that question. It's not a more advanced setup to go to a double boot. It's not a better design to go to a boot and a toe. And anybody who tries to tell you that just has an opinion that they have that may or may not necessarily work for you. Will Asher, one of the best skiers in the world, skis on a boot and a toe. Terry Winter, one of the best skiers in the world, skis on a double boot. So it's something that you can, it's really just up to your personal preference. For me personally, as I mentioned, I ski on a double boot. For me to ski on a boot and a toe is almost dangerous because I'm so bad when I have a rear toe strap in. I can't even really control the ski because I've gotten used to the feeling and the controls of a double boot. I have other people that have done the same thing. One of my good friends skis on a boot and a toe, and for him to ski on a double boot, he feels like he can't even turn the ski properly. And so it's just whatever you get used to, and oftentimes, sometimes it's what you've been used to over time, and whatever you feel the most comfortable with. Don't feel like you need to move or change to one or the other, unless you do feel like you want extra support, or you feel like you need to have something that gives you a little bit more range of motion. I was actually skiing with one of the best skiers in the world, Freddie Winter, here just a little while ago, and he was mentioning to me how he used to ski on a double boot until he had some major ankle injuries, and then he went to a hybrid boot and toe, like kind of like a heel rear toe that cups around, because he needed to have more ankle mobility. So there may be reasons to change between a double boot and a toe setup, but there isn't necessarily one that is better than the other. Now, the other thing I do want to just talk about with this, because it's on the same topic, is what kind of a rear toe and what kind of a double boot you may want to go with. Now, you have the ability to kind of pick whatever you want. Most of the ski setups that we do here are an adjustable rear toe strap. That means it's got a lace system. You can cinch this toe, and it makes it so it's adjustable between different sizes. If you're skiing at a super elite level, there's rubber rear toe straps that just kind of come across, and they're size specific, but they're exactly what it sounds, they're size specific. So it means if you got a size 8 and your buddy's got a size 10, you can't share the same ski. So it gives you you have that ability if you want a little bit more grip and suction to go to a size rear toe plate, but size rear toe plates account for less than 5% of what we sell. They're very, very rare, and unless you're skiing at an elite level, you probably won't even notice the difference, as well as actually the adjustable ones are, quite honestly, a lot more comfortable. So, and they're more adjustable and more universal, meaning they can fit on more different skis. So that's breakdown when it comes to rear toe. Now, as far as the double boot, this one right here, this is HO Free Max boots. These are probably the most popular boots that we sell. They're comfortable, they're fairly basic, they're not ultra high performance, but they're just great all around boots. This one's a full-on double boot of that same setup, meaning that it's got a front and a rear that are the same kind of setup to it. But you can go with a different rear boot than a front boot. Some people like to have a front boot that is more supportive and a rear boot that's got a little bit more free range of motion in towards the rear. There's some people that will even do something like a hard shell binding, like an HO Syndicate hard shell front. That's actually what I personally ski on. And it gives you a lot of support and structure in the front, where they'll go to a rubber rear toe, rear boot, or something that has a lot more flexibility and range of motion. There's a lot of different hybrid designs. It just comes down to what you personally feel. If you're not getting way into skiing and you're just gonna go out and recreationally ski, something like a pair of double Free Max boots is a great way to go. This is something that's fairly basic, but you can go and get really crazy with combinations. One thing I will point out is, as opposed to skis, where a more advanced ski may not necessarily be beneficial for you, you're never gonna be disappointed if you get higher end boots. Meaning that even if you're skiing on a basic slalom ski, something like an HO Omni, to put an HO Syndicate hard shell front binding on, you're not gonna be disappointed if you do that. It's just more comfortable, more supportive, higher performing. There's really no downside to a higher end ski binding other than the additional cost. So just keep that in mind if you're shopping around for skis or ski bindings, and that's something that you can always upgrade and be really happy with. Where upgrading your ski may not necessarily make you a better skier, depending on your conditions, how prepared you are to ski on that ski. So hopefully this has been helpful information and giving you some things to think about, and most importantly, answer the question of, should you be on a double boot or should you be skiing on a boot and a toe? If you have any questions or really want to have any additional information, feel free to reach out to us at BoardCo. We're happy to walk you through it and give you some details and give you some info. Also, let us know if there's any questions you'd like answered in these videos. We want to try and get as detailed and in-depth as people want to know about. And so if there's anything that you'd really like to know more information about, let us know. We're happy to help. So hopefully this has been beneficial. If you're on YouTube, feel free to comment below and subscribe to us on YouTube, as well as click the bell so you can let us know, or we can let you know when we have new content coming out. Hope this is some information that you really enjoyed. Most importantly, get out and go ski. It's a blast. It's super fun. I know you'll love it. So hopefully this is fun. We appreciate it a ton. Thank you, and we'll talk to you later.